This evening on ENN Tonight.
Housing is hard to find. See how some Elon students were left with nowhere to go.
Thousands of ballots trashed. The race to the North Carolina Supreme Court is still going on 5 months after the election.
And North Carolina DMVs have more hours with not enough workers.
Those stories and more.
ENN Tonight starts now. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for ENN Tonight. I'm Abigail Hines.
And I'm Abby Gravely.
An Elon Jr. has been arrested by Town of Elon police and is facing 3 misdemeanor charges. The charges against 21-year-old James Dean include assault inflicting serious injury, breaking or entering, and crime of domestic violence. According to an April 12th arrest warrant from the police department, she is accused of having wrongfully entered the building of the victim, then pouring toilet bowl cleaner, resulting in visible skin irritation to the victim's face. Dean's bond has been set at $12,500, and she was released from custody today at 5:43 p.m. Dean did not respond to an Elon News Network phone call and voicemail requesting comment.
As the semester begins to wrap up, students are planning for next year by registering for classes and making travel plans. But some students are still missing an essential part for next semester. After talking with one of these students, I have more on what this means. Let's take a look.
On Housing Selection Day, freshman Skylar Thompson received an email hours before her selection time saying that there was no more housing available.
It's really frustrating. Just because I had a late time doesn't mean I shouldn't be restricted from living on campus next year.
Now Thompson has been placed in temporary housing, and even after reaching out to Residence Life 7 times, she's been separated from her roommate, though Res Life had promised they would stay together.
They told me that I should just trust the process and wait in time and see what happens. So I did that, and then my roommate and I were split up.
Sophomores who are typically required to live on campus are often placed in Danley or Oaks neighborhoods. But with the class of 2028's large size and upperclassmen renewing their leases in these locations, some students have been left at a loss of what to do.
It would be really nice to make sure that our voices are heard on this, because no one should have to stress about this much.
Abby Gravely, ENN Tonight.
Thompson says she plans to visit Res Life in person later this week to try and find a solution.
The Burlington Fire Department is investigating the cause of a recent house fire. When firefighters arrived, they found a resident trying to save items from inside the home. The resident received minor injuries due to re-entering the home and was taken to the hospital. The fire was under control in about 40 minutes. The fire department wants to remind everyone that it is not safe to re-enter a structure that has caught fire.
The Griffin versus Riggs North Carolina Supreme Court case is seeing some major updates. ENN's Fiona McAllister has more about what this could mean to people in Alamance County.
The North Carolina Supreme Court decided that 5,000 votes from military and overseas absentee ballots could be thrown away because they didn't include photo ID. But this doesn't include the over 60,000 ballots that could have also been thrown out.
If they decide to review the case, then there's a better chance that they will throw out this request by Griffin to have these 65,000 ballots challenged.
Democrat Allison Riggs currently holds the seat, but Republican Jefferson Griffin is trying to challenge her position because over 60,000 voters registered incorrectly. And of those 60,000, around 700 of them were registered in Alamance County, including Elon students.
I think my initial reaction was one of concern, obviously, right? You're getting a message saying that your ballot's going to get thrown out. That's not a good look, right?
The court ended up ruling that these 60,000 votes are to stay in the election. Fiona McAllister, ENN Tonight.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency, also known as FEMA, is ending full reimbursement for Hurricane Helene recovery efforts in North Carolina. FEMA initially covered 100% of certain disaster costs like debris removal and emergency services for 180 days after the storm hit last September. But now, the agency says an extension isn't warranted, meaning the state will have to cover more of the cost. Governor Josh Stein has asked President Trump to reconsider, arguing that communities in western North Carolina still need the help. The state has 30 days to appeal the decision.
The Department of Motor Vehicles in North Carolina is seeing a slight time change. ENN's Fiona McAllister has more on what we can expect.
North Carolina DMVs are now opening an hour early.
Well, we see the need. We see the folks that are waiting in line. We know that there's more demand.
Appointments on the DMV website are booked across the board. Homan says that opening at 7 a.m. would help to free up more spots for these appointments.
Adding an extra hour, adding more than where we're currently at. There's been talk of trying to stay open a couple hours later.
Not only is the DMV opening up more hours, they're asking for more employees.
Yeah, so there are two asks. One is for 61 employees that would fill open workstations, and so that's part of it. There's also a second ask that would add 24 more employees for 2 new offices.
Homan said that this ask for more employees is within the North Carolina Governor Josh Stein's budget. The DMV is still waiting for a response on this legislation. Fiona McAllister, ENN Tonight.
Homan says that opening up an extra hour doesn't cost much for the DMV, but with the Real ID deadline approaching next month, the DMV is seeing people come in to exchange their IDs.
After the break, I'll have more on how the Phoenix played this weekend.
And student government appoints some new faces to their leadership. Stick around to see who after the break.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
There's only one thing that will save somebody's life, and that is naloxone nasal spray. Get 911 on the phone, get the emergency responses there on their way.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hate is loud, but love is the majority.
At SGA's most recent meeting, the student government announced the addition of 3 new members to its leadership team. Junior Kennedy Steiner was appointed to Vice President of Communications. Junior Ian Berger will serve as Vice President of Finance, and Junior Selma Marich was elected as the new Speaker of the Senate. Each of the newly appointed leaders addressed the Senate during the meeting, showing enthusiasm for their roles and optimism about the year ahead. Kennedy Steiner, the new VP of Communications, says she looks forward to connecting with the student body in her new role.
The student body to know who SGA is, and I think the best way to do that is by getting our faces out there, saying why we joined. We all have our own reasons and what we do here.
With the new team in place, student government leaders say they're eager to build transparency, strengthen student engagement, and make a lasting impact on campus.
2018 Elon Law alum Tia Hudgens-Taylor has now been appointed by North Carolina Governor Josh Stein as a district court judge. The district Taylor is appointed to is located in eastern North Carolina and includes Edgecombe, Nash, and Wilson counties. Taylor will also be able to serve in her hometown of Rocky Mount, where she is currently an associate attorney. Taylor will be sworn in as judge later this spring.
Elon baseball played Towson University this weekend. Our Kathan Gandhi is in studio to give us a sports recap. Kathan, what's been going on with Elon sports?
A lot, Abigail. 2 of the 9 men's basketball players that entered the transfer portal have made their decisions. TK Simpkins, Elon's leading scorer from the past season, has committed to play for the University of Oregon next season. The Ducks went 25-10 this past year, falling in the second round of the NCAA March Madness tournament. TJ Simpkins, TK's twin brother, announced he is transferring to Seton Hall University via social media. TJ transferred to Elon last year and was the team's main offense off the bench. Now, while men's basketball goes through their offseason, Elon baseball is in the midst of their season play. This year hasn't exactly gone to the plan for the Phoenix. With 21 games left going into their weekend series, they were 11-21 on the season. Players like Kenny Mallory Jr. and Will Vergantino, who had bigger seasons last year, have cooled off so far in this 2025 season. Although pitcher Justin Mitrovic has played great this year, the rest of the pitching staff has struggled to maintain consistency. Going into a doubleheader against Towson on Saturday, time was running out for Elon to change the pace for their season. I was at Latham Park to see how everything actually panned out.
Elon's first game of the day was well in the Phoenix's favor. Starting pitcher Justin Mitrovic was dominating, throwing 8 scoreless innings with 7 strikeouts. On the other side, the Phoenix scored 10 runs, with junior Ja Alford slugging 2 home runs.
I thought we were really good offensively the first game. Got some good pitches to hit, did some damage with them. Ja in particular, a couple other guys. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yet, what went so well in the first game was completely different by the second. Without Mitrovic on the mound, Elon's pitchers struggled to get batters out. 6 players pitched for the Phoenix, with each letting up at least 2 runs.
Game 2, we pitched it about as bad as you could pitch it. So, I mean, those are double headers. I hate them. I never have liked them, and that's the reason why.
The Towson Tigers ultimately scored 23 runs, and the game was ended after only 7 innings. Elon lost 23-5, falling to 12-22 on the season. Kathan Gandhi, ENN Tonight.
Elon beat Towson in the final game of the series. They next play the University of North Carolina Greensboro at home on Tuesday.
The Elon University dance team has some exciting news. It won 2nd place for the first time in the POM category. This competition marked its highest scoring POM routine in program history. Senior and co-captain of Elon's dance team, Sarah Whiting, says that for her last year on the team, this bittersweet moment was very exciting.
It was huge for the program, huge for the school, and we feel very lucky to be recognized as a top 3 team in the nation. Also, the support from the school and everyone else. I mean, we get shout outs while we're at nationals of like, we love you guys. It's surreal. Like, we think we're little old Elon, but people know our name.
I'll have your Phoenix 5-day forecast for you after the break.
And after the break, I'm out here under the oaks. Stay tuned for a cooler tradition.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Even more than I wanted a gold medal, I wanted a heart of gold, like the mentors who were my balance beams refusing to let me down, and the coaches who spoke out to anything out of bounds, heroes who never stood on podiums, but stood up for me. Every shot I made, give the assist to those who since my youth were referees, ready to blow the whistle and end abuse.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Kudos, Carl. You've always had a need for speed. Racing anything with wheels, speed reading novels in record time, yelling out 3, 2, 1 at every traffic light. But this time, you've taken your power obsession to the next level. By purchasing this electric vehicle, you've given yourself instant torque that blows your old launch times away, which will keep you saying, woo-wee, every time you punch the pedal. Good for your adrenaline, great for the planet. That's the power of EV.
The Burlington Police Department welcomed a new addition recently, in the Canine Unit. I was there to meet Burlington's new protective pup. Let's take a look. Meet Burlington Police Department's newest officer, Pfabe, a 2-year-old Dutch Shepherd from Hungary. Pfabe and his handler William Wyatt are the newest additions to Burlington PD's Canine team. 4 dogs trained for tasks ranging from locating drugs to evidence searches.
Anytime he gets out of a kennel, you can just see his behavior change, and he's like, all right, what are we doing? I'm ready to work.
The duo joined the team after an intense 11-week training process that started from square one, teaching the dogs how to sit, using treats as a reward. Wyatt says that, in a way, the dogs teach themselves skills that they're then praised for.
When they, we put a little odor in a box, they put their nose in the box, they get paid. And by paid, food or a toy.
Wyatt stresses that, even though the dogs work, they aren't machines and will still get tired and make mistakes.
They'll have days where they don't want to work, just like I don't want to work some days.
So while Pfabe's training is important, Officer Wyatt makes sure to give him time to just be a dog.
In between calls and downtime, I try to take him out, let him run around, so he's not just riding around the back of the car all day, cooped up. So I'll let him run, we'll play, we'll do some just basic obedience, like heeling, sits, down stuff.
Abby Gravely, ENN Tonight. Wyatt says that Pfabe loves his work, but also loves a good scratch behind the ears.
Last week was pretty chilly. Are we going to be seeing more of that this week, Mackenzie?
Thanks, Abigail. That cold front has finally passed through because it was a beautiful day today, and we're looking at some spring weather coming up this week. Now for your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Tonight we'll have a low of 60 and partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow will be cloudy with a high of 70. Wednesday will bring the sun and a breeze with a high of 65. Thursday we'll have a high of 68 and mostly sunny skies. Finally, Friday and Saturday will get warmer with highs in the high 70s and low 80s, with more sun on Friday and Saturday bringing the clouds back. Sudden changes in humidity and temperature like this can cause sinus tissues in our nose to swell, which can make allergy symptoms worse. So be sure to take allergy medicine to combat the pollen and take warm showers to relieve sinus pressure. That's all for your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that update, Mackenzie.
As the weather gets nicer, people are spending more time outside, but not just to enjoy the warmer temperatures. Our Charlotte Pfabe is under the oaks and has more about how students are spending their time outdoors. Charlotte?
Yeah, like Mackenzie said, it's a beautiful day out here under the oaks, and the sunshine has made it such a great evening for students to enjoy the outdoors. With banquet season right around the corner, some students are taking advantage of this sunshine and using it to paint their coolers outside. In the upcoming weekends, many students are leaving campus and heading to the beach for fraternity banquets, and I learned more about this cooler painting tradition. Spring is in the air, and so is spray paint, as preparation for fraternity banquet season begins. Banquet weekends happen every year during the spring semester, and students prepare for the trips by painting coolers. While the coolers are used to hold food and drinks during beach days, these coolers are a bit different.
I love painting and love doing stuff like that, so this is just like fun.
Samantha Davis was invited to banquet weekend and has been working on a cooler for her date over the past few weeks. While Davis says she has specific designs in mind, she's changed the look of her cooler a few times.
I didn't like the background of one, so I painted over it again. And it's literally just like trial and error, I guess.
While Davis is already past her first draft, freshman Casey Armstrong started her base coat a few days ago.
Well, I just spackled the letters, so when I paint it, it won't like show up with the letters. So right now I'm sanding down the spackle, and then I'm going to start painting it now.
Between tracing the designs and waiting for the paint to dry, Armstrong says she expects to be working on her cooler for at least 10 more hours total. However, she looks forward to seeing it all come together.
I'm not very artistic, so I am excited to see how it turns out.
With banquet trips staggered over the coming weeks, coolers will be rolling out very soon. Charlotte Pfabe, ENN Tonight.
Hooters is the latest national chain to file for bankruptcy protection, joining Red Lobster, TGI Fridays, and a growing list of struggling sit-down restaurants. Chapter 11 bankruptcy is a legal process that allows businesses to restructure their debt without shutting down. The company files as a plan to sell its company-owned locations to a group of existing franchises, including Hooters Incorporated, the original founders. Their goal is to shift to a fully franchised model and keep the doors open nationwide. The company says restaurants will remain open and operate normally during the restructuring process, and that U.S. franchises won't be affected. Hooters is asking for court approval to receive $40 million in financing to keep businesses running smoothly during bankruptcy. Leaders say this move is about strengthening the brand and getting back to its roots.
Market-sized celery sticks sold at Walmart stores in nearly 30 states, including here in North Carolina, are being recalled because of a possible listeria contamination. The product is a 4-pack of pre-washed celery sticks with a sell-by date of March 2025. The celery was distributed by Duda Farm Fresh Foods, and contamination was discovered during routine testing. Listeria is a serious bacteria that can cause severe illnesses, especially in young children and older adults. Symptoms include fever, nausea, and muscle aches, and the FDA is urging customers to check their fridges and throw away the celery.
Hundreds of people came together in Schar Center for the annual Special Olympics Spring Games. I spoke with volunteers to see what this event means to them and the community.
The Alamance County Special Olympics Spring Games returned to Elon's campus after rain canceled last year's event.
And that was a huge disappointment for us, so I can't even imagine for the athletes because they look forward to it so much. They've just been so excited for so long, and now that we can hold it inside, there was really no stress or anything about it being rained out, so it was just great vibes all around.
Athletes competed in several events like the softball throw and relay race. The ages of the athletes ranged from elementary school kids to adults.
I think it's important to have that representation for all ages like we have here because, you know, everyone deserves a chance to have fun and get a workout in.
Volunteers and fans on the sidelines cheered for the athletes as they competed. Ken Theodore from Ralph Scott Life Services said that his residents look forward to this event every year.
Special Olympics is special for them. You know, they're going to do their best. You know, we kind of agree with the motto that says, let me be brave in my attempt. So as they attempt, we cheer them on.
For some volunteers, this event helps them connect with the local community.
It's a way to emphasize how important it is to give back to our community and especially to this community of individuals with special needs. I think it's so important that inclusion is a part of everyone's everyday life.
Each event concluded with the athletes receiving a medal. Abigail, Hines, ENN Tonight.
Easter is right around the corner, so stick around to see the biggest bunny in Elon.
And right after that, stay tuned to see a very presidential first pitch.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
In 4 days. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children. She didn't know what to do.
Did you have a good day at school?
She gave them some broth without any bread.
There you go.
And kissed them all soundly.
Night night.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Women are bad with money. That's what the world's been saying for centuries. But now we've got something to say.
Save it. It's time to save ourselves by saving our money.
Until we're no longer 80% more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
Save it. The falsehoods, the feelings of fault.
Then, the funds. Learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
Elon Motorsports partnered with Elon Baseball for a new event, Home Runs and Hot Rods. Our Angelina Fantaroni has the number of hot rods that were there.
The Hunt A lot was empty, aside from 3 cars owned by the Elon Motorsports Executive Board.
I think Sundays, most people are just wanting to be out at the parties instead of having some fun with cars.
Co-president Quentin Lasky said Elon Baseball reached out to host the event with Elon Motorsports.
Elon Baseball, they didn't put it out on the right channels to get as much viewership as possible.
The winner of the car show was supposed to throw the first pitch at the Elon Phoenix versus the Towson Tigers baseball game. But since there was no winner to judge...
Out of right now, it actually might be me. I might make an executive decision and take some glory for myself.
Lasky did end up throwing the first pitch. Angelina Fantaroni, ENN Tonight.
With Lasky's successful first pitch, the Elon Phoenix won 6-4 over the Towson Tigers.
Beth Schmidt Park was the home of its annual Easter Bunny Hop with fun for all. Games, refreshments, and contests were free for all families to enjoy. The Easter Bunny and Honey the Bumblebee were available to hang out and take photos with attendees. The Elon Fire Department set up an inflatable firehouse to share tips about fire safety with children and even brought along a fire truck. The most popular stations were the face painting booth, which formed a line out the door, and even a live giant rabbit and an Australian wallaby. Gibsonville resident Jessica Boyd brought her 5-year-old daughter to the Bunny Hop. She said events like these give everyone a sense of community and fun.
You can have fun and gather together as a community and just have a good time. And it takes away from the negativity of the world, you know, a nice distraction, nice healthy
On
distraction.
Thursday, Beth Schmidt Park will host Crafting for a Cause and teach children how to make bunny boxes just in time for Easter. Well, that's all the news we have for you this evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Head over to our website, elonnewsnetwork.com, for stories, sports, and more.
And make sure to follow us on social media at Elon News Network.
And don't forget to check out ENN Radio on Spotify.
Have a great night, Elon.